Mexican culture is deeply intertwined in the U.S. city of McAllen, Texas, a border town that is roughly 80% Latino. While thousands of people pass each way from Mexico and the U.S. through a checkpoint legally each day, McAllen does have a huge fence that stretches across 30 kilometers, an effort to keep people from sneaking into the United States illegally. And here, Donald Trump's campaign rhetoric of building a wall played well for a while.
I thought it was shorthand rendition for border protection. I didn't think the president meant that literally, and now apparently, almost literally, he means that.
It is hard to find anyone in this town who thinks a wall separating Mexico from the United States is a good idea. That's because McAllen benefits from NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, and a strong relationship with Mexico. The head of the region's free trade zone says he'll be closely watching what Donald Trump says to the joint session of the U.S. Congress.
I would like for him to say that they're going to take a practical approach to secure the border. The question is, we want it to be common sense and we want it to be effective. We don't need just a big boondoggle.
And by common sense, he says he wants the Trump administration to reach out to the Border Patrol, to law enforcement, people who live and work along the border with Mexico, people, he says, who will know what will and won't work when it comes to effective border security. Many here in the Rio Grande Valley want to see NAFTA continue, an agreement that created jobs for tens of thousands of people in this region and lured companies from China, Japan, Korea, and many other nations here. Even though legions of Mexicans come to the U.S. each day, right now it is difficult to get anyone to talk.
They're afraid. They're afraid of what's going on. It's the uncertainty. They don't know what to expect. They don't know whether they would be sent back.
Sent back and be on the wrong side of the fence. It may look menacing, but even the town's mayor considers it a paper tiger.
If you really look at it, they're kind of the fences of inconvenience because you can walk around them.
In all seriousness, officials here believe Trump's language is more of an obstacle to relations than any kind of barrier would be.
The big issue that we hear from Mexico is we're not going to pay for it. And that's offensive to them. They don't really care whether we build a wall or not. They kind of laugh at it and say, if you want to waste your money on it, that's fine.
And there is lots of money on the line. The projected cost is north of $20 billion. Well, behind me, you just see some of the 5,000 semi-trucks that cross this border every day, making it the busiest land port in the United States. An estimated $168 billion worth of goods makes its way into the United States from Mexico, Central America, every day here. But a lot of other items do as well. On any average day, this is just any day pulled out of a hat, agents here seize about 1 kilo of heroin, 6 kilos of cocaine, 7 kilos of methamphetamines, and 175 kilos of marijuana. Asia, it is a very graphic reminder of why border security is such a hot topic in the United States.
And what are they saying about smugglers and people who are trying to enter U.S. illegally?
I think I'm having trouble hearing because the trucks are so loud, but the major concern for the authorities here is trying to pinpoint any kind of contraband that comes in. People are extraordinarily creative. They're seeing people actually hollowing out areas of within the engine block and people physically hiding in there. In terms of getting drugs in, they've actually hollowed out portions of rope and slid cocaine, methamphetamines. They're making methamphetamine in a liquid now, putting it in shampoo bottles. So these officers here, Customs and Border Protection, are really up against it. And on an average, when the 50,000 some private cars come across the border every day, each agent has about 40 seconds to decide if that vehicle needs yet another layer of a security check. And remember, for everything that they do, the Border Protection officers here come under the heading of Department of Homeland Security. So stopping terrorism is job number one.
Wow, that is truly remarkable. It is loud behind you, so we'll let you go. Thank you so much, Sean Callebs, for that report.